All right, welcome everyone. Today we're going to do something really interesting, a thought experiment. It's adapted from this short piece called The Illumination of Depthless Living. And what we're going to do is explore a world that's fundamentally different from ours in just one simple but totally profound way. So here it is. What if shadows just disappeared? I mean, really think about that for a second. What would it actually be like to live in a world where nothing and no one ever cast a shadow? Okay, so to really wrap our heads around this, we've got to start with the one single, unchangeable rule of this new reality. It's just one tiny tweak to the laws of physics, but believe me, it changes absolutely everything. So here's the premise. In this world, light doesn't come from a source, like the sun or a light bulb. No, it's just everywhere. It's coming from every single point in space, all at the same time. And the immediate result of that? Well, no shadows. And if you don't have shadows to give things shape and definition, your depth perception just completely disappears. Gone. So what would that actually feel like to, walk around in a world like that? Well, the physical consequences are immediate and honestly, pretty jarring. First off, imagine trying to get around in a world that's been visually, flattened. You walk into a room, but you can't see any corners. There are no lines where the walls meet the floor. You have zero visual cues telling you where one thing ends and the next begins. And it's not just the corners, it's everything. The edge of a table, a door frame, the steps on a staircase, they all just blend together into this one seamless flat plane. It's like the whole world becomes a 2D painting that you're somehow forced to stumble through. Which leads to the big one. You can't tell how far away anything is, at all. Is that person standing right in front of your face, or are they all the way across the street? You would have absolutely no way of knowing, not until you literally reached out and touched them. So the result? Life is just one constant series of collisions. You're always walking into walls, tripping over chairs, bumping into other people. Your eyes just can't judge space anymore. It would be total sensory chaos. But all that physical clumsiness, that's really just the beginning. The truly deep impact here isn't on your body, it's on your soul. This is where the world's constant, unrelenting brightness becomes a powerful metaphor for something much, much deeper. And to explore that, the source material gives us this little scene between two people, a guy named John and a woman named Barbara. And their conversation, it just perfectly captures the psychological strain of living in a world like this. So at one point, John says something to Barbara that really just gets to the absolute heart of the problem with this world. Now, he's not talking about physical light here. What he's really saying is that her personality, her whole way of being, is just like the world around them. It's got no shadow, no nuance, no mystery. She offers no contrast, no quiet spaces. Let's unpack that a little, because it's a huge idea. You see, in our world, shadows create nuance. They create mystery. They allow for privacy, right? They let parts of ourselves stay in the dark, and that creates emotional depth. But in their world, a world of total, constant illumination, everything is exposed. There are no secrets, no private thoughts, no hidden complexities. So just like the physical world went flat, so have their relationships. Every single interaction is just on the surface. And this is where the whole thought experiment really comes back to us, to our world. It kind of forces you to stop and think about the incredible, and let's be honest, often overlooked value of shadow in our own lives. When you get right down to it, shadows are so much more than just the absence of light. I mean, physically, sure, they give our world definition and context. They let us see depth and move around. But metaphorically, they give us nuance. They give us privacy. They represent the quiet, the unknown, the complicated parts of ourselves and other people. They even literally give us a place to just rest our eyes from a constant, overwhelming glare. So that leaves us with one final thought to chew on. If a world of total light leads to a life of total flatness, then what are the quiet, complex, and maybe even hidden parts of your life? What are the shadows that give you the depth and the meaning that you need to find your own way?